The sky didn't fall in flames, it went silent. Satellites died. Airplanes drifted blind. Entire cities froze mid-motion as if time itself hesitated. Then, one signal appeared, broadcast on every screen, every frequency, every device humanity had ever built. It wasn't a threat. It was a question. Why do you fight for a world you're destroying? And before anyone could answer, the first human city vanished, without a single explosion. The story opens in a near-future Earth, not dystopian, but fragile. Climate strain, economic divides, and political distrust have stretched societies thin. Technology has advanced faster than wisdom. Humanity is not collapsing, but it is fractured. Nations cooperate publicly but compete silently. Corporations influence governments. Communities are connected digitally but isolated emotionally. We meet Dr. Elias Verne, a systems engineer working for a global satellite coordination agency. He is not a hero archetype. He is tired, precise, and deeply observant. His job is to maintain orbital communication networks, essentially the nervous system of modern civilization. Elias believes in order, in logic. He trusts data more than people. At home, he lives alone. His estranged daughter, Maya, a climate activist, hasn't spoken to him in years. She sees him as part of the system that enabled global decay. He sees her as idealistic but naive. Their relationship reflects the wider human divide: knowledge versus belief, systems versus emotion. Then the anomaly appears. At first, it looks like solar interference, brief communication distortions. But Elias notices a pattern. The disruptions are intentional. They are not random bursts. They are structured, repeating, almost probing. Within days, all global satellite systems begin to fail simultaneously, but without damage. They simply stop responding like obedient machines awaiting new instructions. Governments panic quietly. Military agencies suspect cyber warfare, but no human signature can be found. Then, the signal arrives. Every screen, phones, billboards, aircraft panels, flickers to a uniform black display. A symbol appears, geometric, shifting, almost alive. No known language, yet somehow understood. Then comes the message: we observed. We learned. We waited. Humanity realizes this is not an invasion in the traditional sense. There are no ships visible. No weapons deployed, only control. Airspace is locked. Communication rerouted. Power grids stabilized but under foreign command. Accidents drop to zero. Crime halts. Not by force, but by interruption. The aliens, later referred to as the continuum, do not destroy systems. They perfect them. Governments attempt to regain control, but every countermeasure fails instantly. Elias is recruited into a global response team, not because he is the smartest, but because he noticed the pattern first. His role is to interpret the logic behind the alien interference. Meanwhile, Maya joins a grassroots human resistance, not violent, but ideological. She believes humanity must prove its right to exist, not fight blindly. The divide deepens. Some humans welcome the aliens as saviors, others see them as silent conquerors. Elias and Maya stand on opposite sides of the same question: should humanity be saved or judged? Weeks pass and the nature of the alien presence becomes clearer. The continuum does not speak again directly. Instead, they reshape human systems in subtle but undeniable ways. Food distribution becomes perfectly efficient. No waste. No hunger. Energy grids stabilize. Clean, optimized. Universal. Financial systems flatten. Extreme inequality begins to disappear. At first, the world experiences relief, then unease, because no one is choosing these changes. Humanity begins to feel like a patient under anesthesia, healed, but not consulted. Elias is tasked with decoding the alien decision-making process. He discovers that the continuum is not reacting emotionally or politically. It operates on a principle of systemic balance. Their interventions are not punishments, they are corrections, but corrections have consequences. Entire industries collapse overnight. Millions lose jobs not because of destruction, but because they are no longer efficient. Governments lose authority. Cultural identities begin to blur under standardized optimization. Humanity is being reshaped, not violently, but completely. Maya's resistance group grows. They argue that humanity's flaws are part of its identity, that suffering, choice, and imperfection define meaning. She records messages that spread across underground networks. If we give up control for comfort, are we still human? Meanwhile, fear escalates. A city, Lagos, is removed, not destroyed, but erased from existence. No debris, no radiation, just empty space where millions once lived. The key: Continuum releases a statement: systemic instability threshold exceeded. The world understands this is not coexistence, this is evaluation. Elias begins to question his role. The data suggests the aliens are not hostile, but they are ruthless in logic. Humanity is being measured against a standard it does not understand. He secretly accesses restricted data and discovers something shocking. The Continuum has been observing Earth for centuries. Human history, wars, empires, collapses has all been recorded. And now, humanity is in its final assessment phase. Elias reaches out to Maya after years of silence. Their reunion is tense. Dialogue moment, high emotional weight. Elias: they're not here to destroy us. Maya: no, they're here to decide if we deserve to stay. Their perspectives clash, but begin to align. Both realize humanity cannot win through force. Attempts at military retaliation have already failed. Weapon systems deactivate before firing. Missile launches freeze mid-air. The battlefield is not physical, it is philosophical. Humanity is not fighting aliens. It is defending its right to exist as it is. The conflict escalates globally. Some nations surrender authority to the Continuum. Others attempt desperate rebellion. Civil unrest grows between humans themselves. Families divide. Communities fracture. The real war becomes human versus human over what humanity should be. Elias uncovers a hidden layer in the alien system, a feedback mechanism. The Continuum is not just observing, it is learning from human reactions. Every protest, every act of cooperation, every betrayal feeds into its final judgment. Humanity is being tested, not on strength, but on character. The turning point begins quietly. Elias discovers a pattern in the erased cities. They were not random. Each location had reached a specific threshold. Extreme systemic imbalance, environmental collapse, violence, irreversible damage. But there's something else. In each of those cities, there were also attempts at change, people trying to fix things, yet the Continuum still erased them. Why? Elias realizes the terrifying truth. The Continuum does not value intent, only outcome. Humanity is being judged not on effort, but on results. Maya challenges this idea. She argues that imperfection is essential, that growth requires failure. Together, they form an unlikely alliance, scientist and activist. They decide to do something unprecedented, not resist, not comply, but communicate. Using Elias's access, they craft a message, not in language, but in behavior. They organize a global coordinated act. For one single hour, humanity will act without conflict, no violence, no transactions, no power struggles, just cooperation. It spreads slowly, then rapidly. Even skeptics participate. For 1 hour, the world changes. Strangers help strangers. Enemies stand down. Systems operate manually. Imperfectly, but intentionally. It is chaotic. It is inefficient, but it is human. The Continuum responds. For the first time, it appears, not physically, but as a visible phenomenon in the sky. A shifting structure of light, incomprehensible but present. Then comes the second message. You act against your nature. Elias responds directly, no, this is our nature. We just forget it. Silence. Then the twist. The Continuum reveals its origin. It was once like humanity, a biological species that eliminated its own imperfections, conflict, emotion, unpredictability, until it became a perfect system. But in doing so, it lost something, meaning it has spent millennia searching for another species capable of balancing chaos and order, something it failed to. Preserved on Earth is not a conquest, it is an experiment. Humanity is the final candidate. The erased cities were not punishments, they were variables, removed to test global response. The real question was never, can humans survive? But can humans choose who they are under pressure? The final judgment is not delivered as a verdict, it is offered as a choice. The continuum presents humanity with two paths: integration. Join the continuum. Eliminate suffering. Become part of a perfect unified system. No war, no hunger, no uncertainty. Autonomy, retain independence with all its flaws. Continue risking destruction but preserve identity, freedom, and meaning. The world is divided, but not violently this time. People reflect. Governments consult citizens. Communities discuss, not argue. For the first time, humanity faces a decision together. Elias and Maya stand side by side, not as opposites, but as complements. Elias has learned that logic without humanity is empty. Maya has learned that emotion without structure can collapse. The final vote is not unanimous, but it is clear. Humanity chooses autonomy, not because it rejects perfection, but because it chooses growth over control. The continuum accepts the decision. Before leaving, it restores the erased cities, not perfectly, but as they were. Flaws included. Its final message: you are not efficient. You are not stable, but you are becoming. The alien presence